So despite the fact we did not win our Nrfi yesterday, we're still over 75% in our last 37 with them. 28-9 is our last 37 tally with the Nrfis, and we're looking for a better overall day here on Saturday, August 15th. And folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. According to YouTube's analytics, over half of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure to do so if you have not yet. It just helps out the channel a ton if you hit that subscribe button down below and leave a like. Also, on Greedo Plays MMA this week, today actually is UFC 330. Ian Machado Gary challenging for the welterweight championship against Islam Makhachev. So go make sure to check out that video on Greedo Plays MMA if you have not yet. Yesterday, again, not our best day, but how about that Colorado Rockies plus money line? They closed at about plus 125 with Hunter Goodman not in the lineup yesterday. We still cashed it with the Rockies. We said that was probably the best matchup possible the Rockies could have against the Giants, and Kyle Freeland in Colorado delivers. How about Zach Veen hitting one into McCovey Cove? Okay, let's go. First to 5 best bets today for Saturday, August 15th. We're kicking things off with our first moneyline play of the day. We're doing 4 money lines today and 1 Nrfi. Cutting out the player prop, even though the player prop yesterday did cash. Thank you, Kevin McGonigal. He cashed just like CJ Abrams did 2 days ago with a hit and a run scored. Okay, we'll probably get back to a player prop tomorrow. But 4 money lines in a Nrfi. We kick things off with the first of those 4 money lines. First game of the day, 10:10 my time, 1 o'clock local time, of course, in Detroit, Michigan at Comerica Park. White Sox Tigers. I'm taking Detroit. Guys, it's Troy Melton bump day, and as long as I am still allowed to take Troy Melton and the Tigers at a reasonable price, I'm going to do exactly that. Troy Melton, again, who needs Scooba when you have Troy Melton? That's the feeling I'm starting to get here with him. He is that good, and you know we're jumping straight into the advanced metrics right away because the metrics show us this is very sustainable for Troy Melton. Legitimately one of the better arms in the sport this season. He has been that good this year for Detroit. I mean, 3.06 expected ERA. I understand, again, his actual ERA is 1.46. There's a little bit of regression due, but again, we say it all the time, the more red, the better on the chart, and that's exactly what Troy Melton has done this year. He has been by far the best pitcher for the Tigers, now with Tarek Skubal, of course, being a Los Angeles Dodger. Of course, by the way, the Dodgers yesterday, I mean, now Edwin Diaz wants to get the save. Okay. Even though if Tommy Edman didn't bail him out on the 109 exit velo ground ball to second base, having a very different conversation about the Dodgers against the Brewers yesterday. Regardless, Troy Melton's been really good this year. I expect that to continue legitimately tonight or today at minus 130. It's great value for the Tigers. Yesterday is a victory for Chicago on the road as the White Sox win the game 9-5. Jackson Jobe struggled. He was the starter yesterday for the Tigers, giving up 6 runs and 9 hits in 3 2/3 innings. Tigers got out to an early lead in that game, winning 3-1 early, but then of course the 6-run onslaught came on for Chicago against Jackson Jobe. But bullpen held their own enough for Detroit, but ultimately the 6 runs that Jobe allowed just wasn't enough for the Tigers to overcome in that game. McGonigal, by the way, gets a hit in the bottom of the 3rd. Valencia brings him in with an RBI double, so we cashed that one. I think the Tigers definitely win this game today with Melton on the mound, and Anthony Kay is the starting pitcher tonight for Chicago. I understand recently Kay's been a lot better. You look at back-to-back outings for him against the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cleveland Guardians, and on paper, they're great. And, well, the stats speak for themselves. They're both really good starts. Kay, so far in the month of August against those 2 aforementioned squads, has a 1.46 ERA and a combined 12 1/3 innings against the Rays and the Guards, 13 hits and 2 runs. It's solid enough, right? That last start against the Guardians is good, even better. The start that he has at the Trop against the Rays, we know again, right? Tampa is the best home team in all of baseball. Anthony Kay in Tampa, 6 1/3, 7 hits, and 0 runs with 3 strikeouts. Again, Kay is going to be more pitch to contact. Came off a decent month of July where he posted a 3.8 ERA, and it's been much needed recently out of Kay. Really struggled in the month of June, posted a 6 ERA through 5 starts again in that month, but recently it's been much better for Kay. 4 ERA with a 1.35 whip is the season-long stats for Kay. Now, you will look at the advanced metrics and you look at the chart. Not the greatest. There's a lot of blue here, right? Expected ERA for Anthony Kay is over 5. Now, again, this is not taking into account just the last 3 starts for Anthony Kay. This has been the entire season. Of course, the month of June is really brutal for Anthony Kay. The month of April was really brutal for Anthony Kay as well, but the numbers do still mean something, and the metrics still do mean a lot. More blue in the charts, obviously not as good. Expected batting average against Anthony Kay is 263. Not good. And obviously, when you compare him and Troy Melton, what pitcher would you rather have in this spot? Oh, by the way, Tigers are at home. Tigers have a pretty good record at home this season, all things considered. White Sox have a losing record away from Rate Field this year, of course, in the south side of Chicago. So just a lot of things do favor Detroit. We'll talk about the bats in a second here, but pitching-wise, yes, the clear advantage does go to Detroit and Troy Melton. Am I always concerned about this Tigers bullpen? Absolutely, right? It's not a bright spot on this team, but when you look at specifically what Troy Melton has done, it has been nothing but winning for the Detroit Tigers. Last 3 outings for Troy Melton, he's given up 1 run. 1 run in 20 innings for Melton. It was 1 run scored against the Giants. Oh, by the way, that 1 run unearned against Melton. So he's gone 20 consecutive innings without giving up an earned run. And oh, by the way, Detroit continues to win with Melton on the mound. Make that 7 in a row now that Troy Melton has started for the Tigers. Make that 10 out of the last 11 starts the Tigers have been victorious when Troy Melton gets the ball. Last outing that Troy Melton had against the White Sox in a 4-1 victory for the Tigers at Comerica Park. Troy Melton goes 6 innings of 1-run baseball. It was only a solo home run that was hit and scored for the White Sox. That was Antonacci in the first inning. That was the only run scored in that game for Chicago, and of course the only run scored for the Sox against Melton. Melton's first outing of the year against the White Sox. Oh yeah, how about 7 innings, 6 hits, and 1 run? It was only 1 run for the Sox against Melton. Tigers actually still lost that game, but it was a Miguel Vargas double to score Luis Angel Acuna in the bottom of the 3rd against Melton. So in 2 combined games for Melton against the White Sox, he's been completely on fire. Again, what is that? 13 innings, 1 run or 2 runs allowed in 13 innings, 1 being a solo shot. You'll absolutely take those odds every single day. And in terms of both lineups, specifically catered to each pitcher today, I do favor the Tigers. I know the White Sox have got bats that have been good for them all year long. Of course, there is a reason. The Chicago White Sox currently lead in the American League Central. I still think there's a very high chance the Tigers are going to win this division, and that's why these next 2 games are so massive for this team, especially this one, right? Tigers do not want to be going into tomorrow's game looking for, oh, we're just trying to salvage. No, they're hoping tomorrow with a pitching matchup of Sean Burke versus Drew Anderson. The Tigers are really hoping that can be to take the series and to take 2 of 3 at home against the White Sox. And I mean, it should be honestly be expected for this Tigers team to take 2 of 3, especially with Melton getting the ball in 1 of the 3 games. Tigers currently 2 under 500, but they currently hold a playoff spot. Everyone else in the American League kind of sucks. Well, I mean, hey, just look at this visual. Yesterday, all the top wild card teams, or at least all the top teams in the wild card race, lose. Yankees, L. Red Sox, L. Tigers, L. Twins, L in their last game in Iowa 2 days ago at the Field of Dreams. 4 straight L's for the Rangers. They suck. We'll maybe have more on them later. Guardians yesterday, L. Mariners yesterday, L. Everyone loses yesterday in the wild card race, but hey, the 2 teams that won, Blue Jays and Orioles, both 1 game back of a playoff spot. They're both 4 games under 500, and they're 1 game out of a playoff spot. The Nationals are 4 games under 500 in the National League, and I think our season's over, because it probably is, because we lost to the Mets yesterday, and we're 5.5 out. The American League is such a joke. The Mariners have played the worst baseball on planet Earth recently. They're 9 games under 500. They're 3 games out of a playoff spot. I mean, again, and we've talked about at length how pitiful the Mariners season has been all year long, even though they found a way to score in the first inning yesterday. Thanks for nothing, guys. They're 9 games under, and they're still not out of it. The Mariners could go out and go, and they're not going to do this because they're the Mariners, but at home they might. They could go on a 5-game winning streak when they come back to Seattle next week. They could find themselves in a playoff spot. It's absurd. So for the Tigers, every game matters with the wild card, sure, but on top of that, yeah, you're still hunting down the division. If you win these next 2 games against the Sox, still got over a month left to play, Tigers would be a game and a half back of first place in the American League Central. Oh, by the way, Twins 4 games back of the Central too. Guardians still 5 games back of the Central. It's some absurd stuff going on, but it's a massive game for Detroit, and I do believe they'll be able to win this game. Trust their lineup a little bit more. I do. I really like Dylan Dingler. I've spoken at length how highly I think of Dingler. I know he went 0 for yesterday, but I think that guy should be second in the MVP race in the American League. I get it. Caminero's had a really great season as well. McGonigal, Rookie of the Year in the American League. He's great. Gleyber Torres will have his nights. The platoon matchups all night long for the Tigers. I do like them better personally against right-handed arms than left-handed arms. And of course, K being a lefty tonight, not, again, as favorable in my opinion, but every game that Troy Melton takes the mound for the Tigers are a really good bet, and I'm going to go with them here. Again, Anthony K. expected ERA on the season of over 5. I'm going to go with Detroit. They don't lose Troy Melton on the mound, especially at home, and Melton's pitched very well against Chicago already this year. I would 100% expect him to continue that here today. Again, nothing's ever a 100%er, but this one feels pretty good. Tigers money line to kick off the day at -130 at home against the Chicago White Sox. If they don't win this game, they could get swept. And that would just be horrible at this point in the season for the Tigers. Even though if they did get swept, they're only one game out of a wild card. But no, Tigers money line -130 to kick off the day. On to our second best bet of the video. Okay. All right. Hear me out. Nationals +125. I still don't think we're going to lose the series in Queens. I was massively disappointed we lost that game yesterday. Andrew Alvarez pitched not a perfect game, obviously, but he pitched a masterful game yesterday in Queens. I'll get into that in a second. But I look at the overall series now, and I'm thinking, okay, wait, Jake Irvin gets the ball on Sunday. Christian Scott's been really bad recently for the Mets, and there's 100% an opportunity for those Nationals bats to cash in on Christian Scott, and we could definitely win that game. But now, out of the next two, what is the more automatic game for the Nationals? What is the easier game for the Nationals to win? It is today. And I'll tell you this right off the bat. I think the Nationals are severely undervalued with Brad Lord as their starting pitcher. I understand Brad Lord hasn't been the starter much at all this year. He's been an opener. He is now a starter again. And obviously the difference, opener, you're just a reliever, or you're just a relief arm going max, 9 outs, 3 innings. A starter, of course, is expected to go at least 4, probably. Lord, I would expect 5 or 6 today. Probably 5 today out of Brad Lord. So again, if you don't know the thing about Brad Lord, this is a former starting pitcher who he's gone back and forth being a starter and reliever, but last year he started 19 games for the Washington Nationals, got bumped to the bullpen as the season went on, but made starts when the Nationals needed him to. This year, the new management has basically made Blake Butera has decided, and Simon Matthews, our pitching coach, has decided Brad Lord is basically just a relief arm, right? They opted to, start Zach Littell and Miles Michaelis for most of the season, but with both Littell and Michaelis now out, and with Connolly Early still recovering from an injury, hopefully he returns eventually, and with both DJ Hurst and Josiah Gray still out, there is an opening spot in the rotation for Brad Lord. So Lord's now going to get an opportunity for the Nationals. I still do not believe this is going to be a permanent thing for him. However, Lord has been pretty awful in late game spots this season. As an opener and as a mid-relief guy, he's been great. But as a closer and an 8th inning guy, Brad Lord has been atrocious. And that's the thing. This is more of a natural spot for Lord, who came up through the minor leagues as a starting pitcher and pitching early into games, not in the 8th or 9th innings. So I still think the Nationals are very undervalued with Lord here. Lord last year was good as a starter. 4 ERA, 1.5 wins above replacement. I'll take that for Brad Lord, a guy who only started in about 19 games last year for the Nats. And of course, the 2025 Nationals. Ooh, what a brutal season. I think we're severely undervalued with him. I think we are. I understand Sean Manaea has been pretty good recently. I'll just say this about Manaea right now. This needs to end. A 34-year-old Sean Manaea is not actually this good. 4.13 ERA on the season for Sean Manaea, but it's been what he's done recently, which is just absurd. Manaea in his last 4 games has been phenomenal for the Metropolitans, dating back to July 24th, where he posted 6 innings of 1-run baseball against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Then he went 6 innings of 2-run baseball against the Atlanta Braves. And then he went 6 innings of 2-run baseball against the Guardians on the road in his last outing. I mean, what are we doing? The Pirates just sucked against him. And of course, Jared Jones, laid an egg in that game. We may have more on Jared Jones in a second. Sean Manaea in that game against the Pirates, 7 innings, 3 hits, and 1 run, but that's not the most impressive thing. 11 Ks for Sean Manaea. He posted 7 Ks, by the way, in Cleveland in his start prior. This cannot continue. Sean Manaea is not that good. And against the team that still leads Major League Baseball in runs this season, I don't expect it to continue. The Nationals will be on Sean Manaea's ass today. Nationals this season have hit left-handed pitching really well. They just platoon everyone, but there are better matchups for those right-handed bats. Guys like Dylan Cruz and Brady House, who have struggled mightily against right-handed pitchers this season, they get a way better start. Harry Ford, who only starts against left-handed arms, will get the start. Ford has been trending in the right direction. You get Andres Chaparro in the lineup today. Abimelec Ortiz has been great for the Nationals. He's really only hit right-handed pitching so far in the MLB this season. He hit lefties in AAA, obviously. I am very interested to see if the Nationals start both Abby Ortiz and Chaparro today. Obviously, the big news yesterday from the Nationals was that C.J. Abrams will be moving moving to second base within the next week as Nasim Nunez temporarily takes over at shortstop. We all believe that's just going to be Seaver King taking over at shortstop for the Nationals, getting called up from AAA. Seaver King hit a home run 110 off the bat yesterday in AAA Rochester, so really excited for him. Top 70 prospect, Seaver King. It's the right move for Abrams. I will tell you from the quotes that I have heard, or just at least that I have seen about CJ Abrams and whatnot, it feels more so that the Nationals are forcing this on Abrams, which obviously it's not really Abrams' choice, but from what I'm reading, it doesn't feel like CJ's too happy about this. The quote that I read about Abrams, he said, I've always been the leader of the infield, and I want to continue to be the leader of the infield, and I've always played shortstop my entire life. Even though I played some second with the Padres, but that was, forced obviously because Tatis was at shortstop at the time. And regardless, I played some outfield going up in the farm for the Padres as well. I think for the team, it's better that Abrams is at second. I don't know if that means though Abrams is going to re-sign. Obviously, that kind of kills Abrams' value a little bit, but really does it though? Because he's known for being the worst defensive shortstop in baseball. We'll see. I was thinking low-key they're going to make Abrams an outfielder. I was thinking, are they just going to throw him in center field? And just, because the Nationals have kept Cruz in right. With JY and Andrew Pinckney, they've just kept Dylan Cruz in right field. I was thinking, okay, I don't think I like Pinckney and I like Jacob Young, but I don't think those guys are going to be permanent stays of the future. Dylan Cruz, I know Cruz has struggled some this season, but Cruz is going to be here for 6 years rather. Or Cruz is going to be in the starting lineup until the wheels fall off the wagon for him. It's just going, Cruz will be starting every single day. And I still am very optimistic about Cruz. He's been better recently. I was thinking, okay, they're just going to go Cruz in right, CJ in center, and then they'll keep, DHing / playing in left field, Dalen Lyle and James Wood. They opt for Abrams at second base. Okay, I'm okay with it. It's just the quotes out of Abrams were not that encouraging. It more so feels like, okay, yeah, the Nationals are just putting him there, and Abrams will try to pursue playing shortstop elsewhere in free agency in a couple seasons, or they'll just trade him. But it does kill Abrams' value a little bit that he's a second baseman, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it doesn't, though, because his defensive value should be a lot higher now. Regardless, Nationals yesterday, an atrocious loss to the Mets. They lose 4-1. Andrew Alvarez was great through 5 2/3 innings. He hung a slider to Francisco Lindor. The home run less streak out of Alvarez, which led all of Major League Baseball this season, was at 59 straight innings without giving up a home run, ended for Andrew Alvarez in the bottom of the 6th. Lindor just, again, took a hanging slider in left field. Bad pitch, but Alvarez had pitched really well prior to that. He then strikes out the next batter, Bo Bichette. Pitch in the dirt. Keybear blocks it, but it gets away. Bichette winds up on first in the drop third strike. So again, mind you, this is all with 2 outs. The Nationals decide, okay, let's pull Andrew Alvarez there. Huh? And I'm thinking, okay, well, hold on. All right, fully rested bullpen. Cade Cavalli gave the pen a lot of, he gave the team bulk yesterday. Cavalli went 8 innings in his great performance against the Chicago Cubs. Okay, great. We're going to see one of our actual good relief arms. We're going to see an Orlando Rebalta. We're going to see a Giovanni Cruz. The Nationals decide to go to Jake Bird. Jake Bird with 2 outs. He comes in with 2 outs and inherits runner on first. He gives up a hit to Luis Robert. Carson Benj then singles. 2-1. Okay, he gets out of it. We're only down 1, but again, the Nationals don't really score runs late. Okay, 7th inning, Bird's back out there. Jake Bird gives up a home run to not Jacob Young, Jared Young of the New York Metropolitans out of British Columbia, and then gives up another. And then Max Kranick comes in after to pitch, who's got an EDRA. Why is Eddie Jean not with the Nationals right now? Eddie Jean had pitched phenomenally well for the Nats this season. They sent him down in favor of guys like Jake Bird and Max Kranick. Kranick, I guess you can stay for now. Jake Bird's ass has an option. Send him back down to Rochester for Eddie Jean immediately. What are we doing? Eddie Jean gave up 2 runs in 11 innings in the bigs this season. And they said, go back down to AAA. For what reason? But the Nationals punt on the game yesterday, and it's something they just do too much. You could have gone to Giovanni Cruz. I know Giovanni Cruz has struggled some this season. I still trust him a lot more than Jake Bird. I trust him so much more than Jake Bird. You could have gone to Rebalta in a big spot. I understand not going to Beater there, and again, it would help you a lot if you had Eddie Jean right now. If you had Eddie Jean, you'd have 4/5 relievers you can kind of feel comfortable with. Cosgrove, I don't think Cosgrove stuff's that bad. It just hasn't really shown up yet this season. I don't know. I would have taken Trevor Williams. Trevor Williams has actually been decent. Oh, wait, no, he ate a lot of bulk on Wednesday. He couldn't pitch yesterday. Regardless, Don't know what they were doing. They punt. You can't punt today. You have to win this one. I don't think the Nationals are thinking playoffs like I'm thinking. At least, well, our GM, Paul Taboni's put some quotes out there talking about potential playoffs. Again, we have the weakest strength of schedule left in baseball this year. And we are playing some really bad teams coming up. You got to take 2 of 3 against the Mets. That was a disgusting loss yesterday. The bats didn't show up either. I get it. You usually got to score more than 1 run to win. I think they jump on Manaea. I think Cruz probably goes yard. Brady House, who hit a grand slam off Manaea earlier in the season, may see some success there. Jacob Young's hit lefties really well recently. I think this is a Nationals win. Plus money play for the Nationals, plus 125. I don't think I can bring myself to take them again tomorrow. We will reevaluate tomorrow. I know yesterday I said I'm not taking the Nationals 3 days in a row. Well, I'll take them 2 days in a row. Paul Skeens is pitching tomorrow against the Red Sox. Sorry, I'm just looking at the schedule. I have some things to say about Paul Skeens. And, shocker, it's not going to be negative. We'll have something with the Pirates tomorrow. I have a lot to say about Skeens and how I'm not actually that concerned. But anyways, on to our Nats moneyline plus 125. On to our third best bet of the video. Oh, speaking of the Pittsburgh Pirates, here's the Nrfi. Minus 120. Again, I don't want to get too far into the Paul Skeens thing right now because I think we'll have a play tomorrow with Paul Skeens. Hot take. Okay, no, we'll just talk about it tomorrow. Again, I'm not going to be that negative on Paul Skeens. It's just... Again, we'll jump deeper into this tomorrow. I think Paul Skeens has been one of the unluckiest pitchers in baseball this season. I know on the surface you can look at his ERA and say, oh my goodness, he's awful this year. He went from Cy Young to 3.88 ERA this season. Again, I like the advanced metrics a lot. His savant chart's still very good. Paul Skeens has been so unlucky this year. And I get it. The pictures came out of him and Livy on the beach, and Skeens looks, 50 pounds overweight. Just kind of how pitchers look. I just I don't know. I'm not buying all this negative stuff on Skeens right now. Has he been as good as last year? Absolutely not. He hasn't been as good. But has he been awful? Not at all. He gets very unlucky. His team is awful defensively. I'm really not pinning that much on Skeens this year. And I also think, we know his velo's down. There's a reason he's not throwing as hard. He does not want to kill his arm off before he hits free agency in 4 years. That's the truth, okay? I think Skeens is okay throwing a 3.5 ERA every single season, just cashing the All-Star every single year and not needing to be a Cy Young every season right now, right? And we'll see. Again, we'll talk about Miz in a second. You saw in the thumbnail. We'll see if Miz is going to be able to preserve his arm. Again, Skeens is holding back a little bit, it feels like, because he doesn't want to eventually run into some bad arm injuries. We're hoping Miz doesn't run into them either. Okay, Pirates, Red Sox, Nrfi. It's at minus 120. I went back and forth with looking at this and Blue Jays, Yankees, Nrfi. Schultler, Braden Fisher. I'm going to go with this instead. Well, obviously, we have the graphic on the screen. I don't think Pittsburgh's scoring in the first inning. Sonny Gray's been that good for the Red Sox this year. He's been phenomenal for the Sox. My concern is with Jared Jones. However, Jared Jones usually doesn't suck until the third inning. That's what I've gotten out of watching Jared Jones recently, and has taken the Pirates money line when Jared Jones is on the mound. He doesn't usually collapse until a little bit later in the game. 2 games ago for Jared Jones, we took his Nrfi against the Milwaukee Brewers. Logan Henderson was the starting pitcher for the Brewers that game, and it was a scoreless first on both sides. But when did Jared Jones collapse? In the third, he gave up a solo shot to Jackson Chourio. In the bottom of the fourth, he gave up a solo shot to Andrew Vaughn, and it kept on going in the wrong direction for Jared Jones after that third inning. First innings are usually fine for him. You look at Jared Jones's last start against the New York Metropolitans. Overall, it's awful. Jared Jones' ERA in the season is now over 5, and it's because of that bad last start against the Metropolitans. Pittsburgh loses the game by 10 runs. It's an 11-1 victory last Sunday. Manaea was the starting pitcher, by the way, for the Metropolitans in that game. And Jared Jones, okay, he does give up 2 runs in the first inning, but it doesn't really start to go downhill for him until the third and the fourth, right? It's some bloop stuff early in the game for the Mets, and I know Jones gives up the runs early, but it doesn't really start to crumble until the third and the fourth. And that's usually the inning for Jared Jones. Second time around, third inning, he kind of just falls apart. Early in games, Jared Jones is usually fine. Not too concerned about Boston's lineup right now. Yesterday, Pittsburgh beats the Sox. I'm telling you guys, the Red Sox are ice cold. This team is ice cold right now. They're not winning games. Their bats aren't very good. They'll be in the playoffs, obviously, because, we have the Tigers currently in the playoffs being 2 games under 500. So Boston will definitely get in there. They're not playing good baseball right now. We just saw them lose 3 of 4, of course, in Toronto, Ontario against the Toronto Blue Jays. And now they lose game 1 against Pittsburgh, who has been ice cold as well. Yesterday, an 8-4 victory for the Pirates. There were no runs scored in the first inning, by the way. Jake Bennett, the starting arm for the Boston Red Sox, he gave up 4 runs in 4 innings. Bennett is regressing quite a bit. So, hey, Luis Perales, who we traded for, of course, for Jake Bennett. Hey, pal, you're gonna get a start in the MLB in September? You have a real chance to be better than Jake Bennett. We were sounding the alarms. Oh, we got scammed. We got fleeced. Prove us wrong, Luis Perales. Prove us wrong. Bubba Chandler, by the way, was the starting pitcher yesterday for Pittsburgh. Anyways, I think the Nrfi should cash today. I think it should. Sonny Gray going for Boston. Of course, I do prefer lefties pitching against the Pirates, but they're not as left-handed dependent now, at least with, the emergence of Esmerel and Valdez. I understand Valdez hasn't been as good recently. He's picked back up in the last, 4 games. But I'm okay with it. Brian Reynolds is going to hit from either side of the plate, so it really doesn't matter to me. You got O'Hearn currently out right now. I'm okay with Sonny Gray in the first inning. Gray's posted a 2.79 ERA in the season with a 1.15 whip. Gray's last start against the Blue Jays, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. He was really great. His team sucked, though, so they couldn't get the win for him. They lost 2-1 because they can't score, and they got gifted the 1 run, too, because, tricky shenanigans going on there. Regardless, they had, leadoff runner on second in the top of the 9th against Louis Varland and couldn't bring him in. Because Louis Varland has only blown 1 save this year, and it's when we had Blue Jays money line. It's a real thing. Sonny Gray start prior to that Blue Jays one, against the White Sox, 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs. I think Sonny Gray's really great. I think he's a borderline elite this season. For Jared Jones, again, on paper, that start against the Mets, oh boy, 3 innings, 6 hits, 8 runs, yikes. Brewers start prior, 4 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, not good. I just need 1 inning out of him. I just need 1 inning. Likely out of Boston, you're going to see Nick Sogard leading off. You're going to see Yoshida in the 2. Adley Rutschman in the 3, of course, traded from Baltimore to Boston. Man, the Red Sox gave Baltimore so much for Rutschman. Adley's batting .091 so far this year for the Sox. Very limited sample size, of course, but he has 1 hit with this team. Adley is 1 for 11 for the Red Sox this year. Just saying. If it gets there, Wilson Contreras in the 4, and hopefully it doesn't get to 5, but it'll be Willie or Abreu in the 5 spot for Boston. I'm not that concerned here. I think Jared Jones, again, who's been better early in games, I think he'll find a way early. And Sonny Gray, this is more of the automatic part in all of this, of course. As always, nothing is automatic, but I do think Sonny Gray is able to get the outs, and I do believe Jared Jones should be able to get the outs as well. Pirates, by the way, have lost 4 in a row with Jared Jones pitching, and again, we do not care about the money line. If I was going to play something here, I would go Boston. They're only minus 125 here? Well, because their bats have just been so bad, but I think it's a matter of time. I think Boston wins. I will tell you this. It's not an official bet. I think Boston will win. Jared Jones is going to give up runs eventually in this game, and this Pittsburgh bullpen's a little taxed because of the fact that Bubba Chandler went 5 yesterday, and they had to go to 5 different arms. Weaver, Yates, Montgomery, Doval, Soto, my goodness. But all we care about is the Nrfi here, and I think we should be fine. So Sonny Gray, Jared Jones, Nrfi in Pittsburgh at PNC Park. That's going to come in at minus 120 today, again, for our daily Nrfi. Let's make it 29 and 9 now? My goodness, let's tack on another one over 75% in the last 36 Nrfis for us. Let's get another one today. On now to our 4th best bet of the video. We said we're going to talk about it earlier. You saw it in the thumbnail. Here it is. I'm taking the Milwaukee Brewers to beat the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay. So Friday is the perfect way to sum up us betting on the Brewers and the Dodgers this season, especially betting Brewers games just betting on the Brewers and betting on the Dodgers, because the Dodgers usually, I'll just get this out of the way. Usually what happens when we bet on the Dodgers, the opposite always happens. I, for some reason, just can't get a read on this team. They piss me the hell off because the days I bet on them, they absolutely suck, and Edwin Diaz has given up leads in the 9th inning, and the bats are ice cold. And the nights I bet against the Dodgers, Shohei's hitting multiple home runs, Mookie Betts is turning back into Mookie Betts, Freeman actually, does something other than just beat ground balls into the ground over and over and over and over and over again. So that's my frustration with the Dodgers. My frustration with the Brewers is honestly even more than the Dodgers, because this team, again, is currently the best team in the National League. Milwaukee is 75-48, and sorry, they're not just the best team in the National League, they're the best team in Major League Baseball. Brewers yesterday even up the 4-game series, or it's a 4-game set. They win the 2nd game of the series yesterday, 2 days ago they did. The Dodgers even it up yesterday. Regardless, Brewers and Dodgers are 1-1 in this series, but the problem I have with the Brewers is every time I take Milwaukee to win a game, they look absolutely awful. And we have a long history of this. We had them in a parlay taking on the Colorado Rockies at home, mind you, and they lost. We had them against the San Francisco Giants at home, in San Francisco, and they lost. We had them in Anaheim with Miz on the mound, and they lost. We had them against the Pirates in a series where they won 3 of 4. Guess the one we had on the Brewers? They lost. We had them against the San Diego Padres. They lost. So it's over and over. And by the way, I'll say this. I watched them play the Nationals in Milwaukee earlier this year. The Nationals swept them. So every time I watch the Brewers, they kind of suck ass. I'm going to put a little bit of trust in them today. And guys, I told you after the last time the Brewers did not win when we had them with Kyle Harrison. And Harrison laid an egg, don't get me wrong, and the Brewers looked awful in that game in San Diego. But I told you, they're on the chopping block. I've only done this to one team so far this year. It's been the Seattle Mariners, where I said if they lose this game, I'm just banning them. I'm not betting on them again for the rest of the season. I will probably lift that ban for the postseason. I'll just tell you that because, postseason baseball is just different. But I'm putting it on the Brewers. I don't care. I don't care they have the best record in the sport. We're 1 for our last 8 with the Brewers. We got them once against the Giants. I'll tell you that. The second game against the Giants, we just bet on them again. Landon Roop has not been good at home like we saw yesterday. Guys, I'm at that Giants game yesterday, and there are fans by the Giants dugout. I'm not joking. There are fans with signs like protesting Landon Roop. Because it's just, man, I'm telling you, the own home fans in San Francisco hate Landon Roop, and I'm serious, it affects his performance. He's been better on the road, so it's just something there. Regardless, we've had the Brewers, I think our last 10 were 1-9 in the Brewers, something absurd like that. I'm banning them if they don't win this game. They're banned to the postseason, and not like we're gonna get the Brewers at great value for the rest of the regular season. They're playing a pretty weak schedule, other than the Cubs. Oh, we might take the Cubs to beat them, but they're banned if they don't win this game. I don't care. If you cannot win with Jacob Misiorowski pitching today against Justin Wroblewski, who, guys, he's an all-star. He is not good. Wroblewski has struggled so much recently. Dodgers pen's a little bit worked right now. It is. Unfortunately for us, I will say Edwin Diaz cannot pitch today. That is a bummer for us because Edwin Diaz sucks. And the Brewers, again, if Tommy Edman does not bail Edwin Diaz out yesterday, the Brewers win again. That's the truth. The Brewers win again yesterday if Edwin Diaz doesn't pick that ground ball Lara hits to second base. So unfortunately for us, Edwin Diaz is not going to pitch. It'll be a third consecutive day. Tanner Scott, though, has gone in back-to-back as well. They might push Scott to go again today, but there's a chance there's no Tanner Scott for the Dodgers either, which then says, okay, who's going to get the save tonight? Is it Jack Dreyer? It probably is, but Dreyer did not pitch well in that Kansas City series, gave up the lead in a big spot against KC. Of course, the Dodgers always came back in those games against the Royals, but regardless, you're probably without both Scott and Diaz tonight. Probably are. No, they definitely are. Scott only pitched to one batter on Thursday, but still, I don't think they're going to go to Scott for a third consecutive day. So you're without your two late innings guys. Again, Diaz sucks ass, but whatever. Dreyer, Vesia, Henriquez, and are your main arms today if you're the Dodgers. I'm okay with that. I'm willing to take my chances there. They're starting Justin Wroblewski, and guys, again, I'm telling you, there is no way the Brewers should lose to Justin Wroblewski today. Justin Wroblewski is awful. He was an all-star this season, yes, but like Eduardo Rodriguez, he's been able to escape the advanced metrics, and he's been able to outperform his actual metric or his advanced metrics, and this is nonsense. I'll just tell you that. The Wroblewski ERA being 3.4 this year is stupid. He has not pitched a good year, at least in the second half of the season. Let's go to the trusted advanced metrics here on Justin Wroblewski. 4.6 expected ERA for Justin Wroblewski on the year. The only thing that he does significantly well is he limits walks. He's excellent in terms of walk rate. Other than that, my goodness, that is one bad chart for an all-star guy. And you look at what Wroblewski's done recently, coming out of the All-Star break. He had a good start against the Phillies, but the Phillies some nights can be incompetent hitting-wise, especially when they see a left-handed pitcher. Last 3 starts, awful, awful, awful. You're throwing in the Mariners, who suck ass, can't hit a beach ball. Wroblewski, 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. Rob Refsnyder, who is now retired from baseball. Guys, Rob Refsnyder took Wroblewski yard. Was it once or twice? It was once, and he had a double against him in the same game, and they intentionally walked Refsnyder in that game as well. Guys, that was 2 weeks ago. Rob Refsnyder was homering off at Justin Wroblewski. Rob Refsnyder retired from the sport of baseball. Since then, that was 2 weeks ago. Wroblewski pitches in Chicago. That doesn't go well. 7 runs in 4 innings. And then in Arizona against the Snakes, 3 runs in 3 innings, 4 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks. Atrocious, atrocious, bad, bad, bad. That's why you get to this chart. Let's compare him to, the best pitcher in baseball. So again, guys, this is why if the Brewers can't win this game, I don't know what to say about this team anymore. I don't know. Because if you can't win this type of game, you're on national television, you're on Fox, you have your best arm going against, yes, I will say it, the Dodgers' worst starting pitcher right now is Justin Robleski. He is worse than Lauer. He's obviously worse than Sasaki. There's no shot he's better than Snell and obviously Yamamoto. He's their worst starting pitcher right now. When Glasnow comes back or when Bubic comes back, Bubic is probably just going to go straight to the bullpen though, because there's no way Bubic is starting games in the playoffs. When Glasnow comes back, Robleski should be bumped. It's going to be Lauer. They're going to bump Lauer because Lauer is new and they've been kind of getting him ready for a bullpen role. It should be Robleski though. They're going to keep Robo in the starting rotation for now. Robo's going to go to the pen in the playoffs. And dare I say Edwin Diaz should be kicked off the playoff roster for this team? Who would you rather have, Blake Treinen or Edwin Diaz right now? I know Treinen's injured. I'm taking Treinen over Diaz. There's no way the Brewers lose this game. Come on. I mean, obviously, Miz is going to have legitimately the best chart you're ever going to see. 100th percentile in everything. Red everywhere. You're not going to find a better chart. And I don't know how the Brewers don't win here. Well, I do know. I know the Brewers lose this game. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'll detail you if the Brewers lose, this is how it's going to happen. They can't find a hit. Robo goes 7 innings of, one-run baseball against them. The one Brewers runs off like a walk, ground ball, pass ball, then a sac flies like their only run. And Miz gives up a 2-run shot to Max Muncy, and the Brewers lose the game 2-1. Like that is the only way they lose this one. I think Miz, and we'll see again, this is Miz in a big-time spot. He's pitched in big games before this year. He pitched against the Yankees at home. That's kind of it in terms of like big game environments for Miz this season. But still, this is the biggest game of his career so far. Obviously, no, he pitched in the playoffs last year. Who am I kidding? Well, against the Dodgers last year in the playoffs, he was not bad. Was not bad at all in LA. What was that, game 3 or 4 did he pitch? It was game 3 that he pitched. Miz was good. That was back when the Brewers would use an opener for Miz. They started Ashby for Miz, or opened with Ashby for Miz, and Miz gave up 1 run in the game. But obviously, 2026 Jacob Mizorowski is significantly better than 2025 Jacob Mizorowski. So he's delivered in pretty much every single spot so far in his career. Here you go. Huge game. You can at least guarantee a split in LA because tomorrow's probably a Dodger win, right? I'm blanking on the pitching matchup tomorrow, but I don't believe it's one that entirely favors Milwaukee. Oh, right, Scooball. Logan Henderson's good, though. Logan Henderson's really good. And Scooball's just been okay. Jack Cack owned him the other night in that Royals game. We'll see. Not going to be betting on that game most likely, but we'll see. Because I'll be dipping in on Royals Angels baseball tomorrow. Okay, no guarantees. I'm just putting that out there. Noah Cameron tomorrow. If the Royals are anywhere close to plus money tomorrow, that's a great get. We'll see. Anyways, because Ryan Johnson. Anyways, yeah, if the Brewers can't win this game, I don't know what to say. This lineup should be able to deliver on Robleski. I understand lefty getting some of these bats, whatever. Like, okay, will Jake Bauers be in the lineup? If he is, he's going to be batting in the 8th spot. Okay. Garrett Mitchell, he gets a lefty-lefty. Churang gets a lefty-lefty. But give me the righties. Give me a Gary Sanchez. Give me Andrew Vaughn. Give me Contreras. Yelich, lefty-lefty. Can they just, not put Yelich in the lineup today? I think we're fine here. I think we're fine with the Brewers. I think Miz is going to go 7 innings, 1 run. I think someone's going to hit a solo shot off of him. Like Wade Meckler solo shot. I think it's going to be like Shohei Wade Meckler a 3-run bomb off of Miz. I think it's going to be Shohei or Muncy probably go yard on Miz. It's up to the Brewers to score more than 1 run against Robleski. They should, man. I know they don't hit home runs. They just piece together a bunch of hits. There's no way they shouldn't score at least 4 runs on this guy. He's been so bad coming out of the All-Star break. Justin Robleski has an 11 ERA coming out of the All-Star break. Oh, I forgot about the Phillies start. That's about a 7 ERA coming out of the All-Star break. Last 3 starts, 11 ERA. Not good. Brewers should win at -130. If they don't, they are banned until the playoffs. Final best bet of the video. We capped off the night yesterday with some great plus money action. Let's do it again. A's money line +120. The A's should not be this big of underdogs today. No way. No way should the A's be +120 here at home against the Texas Rangers. If you've watched the Texas Rangers play baseball recently, you know they are awful right now. This is a team that I understand, they're only a game out of the playoffs right now. There is no shot they're getting in. They do not have the bats to do it. Their starting pitching's good some nights. Their bullpen, I was told their bullpen's really great, and then I go out and watch their bullpen, and I'm watching relievers who haven't given up a run in 20 appearances give up a run in the game. One game where we take Texas. Okay. This team's not good enough to go to the playoffs. They're 3 games under 500. They're a half a game out. They are nowhere near as good as the Houston Astros. They are better than the Mariners because the Mariners are just the joke of baseball right now. But if I had to rank all of the teams who are fighting for that final wild card, I'm ranking them as such. Tigers 1, Blue Jays 2 right now. Just their pitching's really good and it's probably carrying them. Blue Jays 2, Guards 3 still. Minnesota, Baltimore. I just don't trust in Baltimore. And then Texas, Seattle. The Rangers aren't good. 3 games under 500, and they were in a pretty good spot, 5 games ago? The Rangers have lost 4 in a row. They were 1 game over 500, and they've shot themselves in the foot. That's exactly what's happened. I get it. The Angels have owned the Rangers this season. But you get an opportunity to go on the road against the worst team in the American League. Is it the A's now? No, it's still the Angels. The worst team in the American League. And you take 1 of 4. You win game 1, great. You drop the next 3. What a joke. What a joke. And how do you go out in that series? You're up 2-0 in the first game. You lose 5-2. Last game of the series, you don't score a single run. You lose 7-0. And then how do you respond? Okay, fresh start. Okay, we're on the road. All right, let's just go out and attack a game in Sacramento and West Sac. Let's beat the A's. This is a team that we have struggled against as well this year. The Rangers are 5-3 on the year against the A's, but whatever. Oh, they lose 8-3 yesterday against the Athletics in West Sacramento. A's immediately get on the board early off of Kumar Rocker as Carlos Cortez has a bases loaded, bases clearing RBI, 3 RBI double. Jake Berger actually ties the game in the top of the 6th with a 3-run bomb. And then immediately after, Jeff McNeil goes yard. Bottom 7, Law Dog Lawrence Butler goes yard. A's tack on 3 more in the bottom of the 8th inning. Athletics ultimately obviously win 8-3. I would not be taking the A's in the spot if there was any other pitcher on the bump other than JT Ginn. It's the only guy that I have faith in today for the Athletics, just in general for the Athletics. Right? The A's are at a point in the season where they suck. They're 48-74. The one guy that can bring me to take the Athletics is going to be JT Ginn. JT Ginn is really great. 3.41 ERA, 1.21 whip on the season. His last 3 outings have been really good. I got to see his, 3 starts ago, I got to watch him against the Nationals. He pitched 6 1/3, shutout baseball. It was a game the A's won 15-1. Zach Littell sucked that game, but JT Ginn was phenomenal, 7 strikeouts. And so far in August, 2 pretty good starts, quality starts out of him. 6 innings, 5 hits, and 3 runs against Cincinnati, and then 6 innings, 5 hits, and 1 earned run against the Red Sox. ERA is 3 so far in the month of August for JT Ginn. And it's a pitching staff that's not good. It's not a good pitching staff. Sometimes you'll get good games that a gauge jump like the A's got yesterday, but the only pitcher that I have confidence in is going to be Ginn, and that's what we're going to here today. The starting pitcher tonight for the Texas Rangers is Mackenzie Gore. I like Mackenzie Gore a lot. I own a Mackenzie Gore jersey. His bobblehead is back there with all the Nationals bobbleheads. And I do think, like Paul Skeens, Mackenzie Gore has gotten extremely unlucky this season. However, he has not been a good pitcher away from Globe Life Field this year. That is well documented. He has struggled away from home this year. Home ERA for Gore, 3.2. Road ERA, 5.5. Not ideal. And it's really the walks. The walks, are way up for Gore on the road. I don't know what it is, but some guys like Brian Wu, like Emerson Hancock, like Bryce Miller, they just don't know how to pitch away from home. They just don't know how to. And that's been a continuous struggle this season for Mackenzie Gore. There's always been a second half fall off for Gore. That's stopped this year. That was the whole thing with him and CJ Abrams. They're both great players, but they're just great first half players. But obviously that's been changed this year that now both guys are in somewhat winning environments. The Rangers are still trying to chase down a wild card, and the Nationals have played competitive ball, and CJ Abrams is in the MVP conversation. But they're going to give it to Shohei. Oh, even over PCA, they're going to give it to Shohei, which is so stupid. But Mackenzie Gore on the road this year, 5.5 ERA. Okay, let's carry that into the most hitter-friendly park in all of Major League Baseball in West Sacramento at Sutter Health Park. Oh boy, he's going to struggle. He's going to struggle big time here. And JT Ginn's a really good arm against an awful lineup, a lineup that cannot hit right now. Wyatt Langford's been very bad recently for the Rangers. Brandon Nimmo hits the ball really hard, but they have not been resulting in hits recently. Corey Seager had 1 good game in Anaheim. Other than that, he's been awful this year. I've watched Ezekiel Duran take some of the worst swings I've ever seen. How to throw to Ezekiel Duran. Low and away. He's going to chase, and chase. Just don't give Jake Berger a pitch in the zone. He'll chase as well. Likely, yes, you'll see Jock Peterson in the lineup. I'm not going to say many bad things about Jock. Jock's been the only good bat in this lineup. But for the most part, the Rangers suck. I'm going to take the A's. The A's pitching is awful, but Ginn's the one guy that you have confidence in. The lineup, still struggling, of course, with their injuries. I get it. Yesterday, they let off Jeff McNeil, and of course, the lineup is going to look a little bit different today with a southpaw going, of course, with Mackenzie Gore. Hopefully, Jacob Wilson can play today. He got taken out of yesterday's game because he got hit by a pitch in the hand. Obviously, no Kurtz right now, no Joshua Crow to Grauer. Grauer's still recovering from that ruptured testicular contusion. Man, that's just 24 days ago. He's been out for a while. You're going to see the A's load up on righties. We'll see. You'll see Geloff. You'll see Carlos Cortez, who is going to switch to the right side of the plate in this game. Hopefully Jacob Wilson plays. You'll see my old high school rival, of course, and Henry Bolte playing as well. I think we'll be fine. Give me the Athletics to win this one. Jonah Heim gets a decent matchup as well. Yeah, I like the Athletics here quite a bit. JT Ginn's their best arm, and I think Gore is going to continuously struggle here on the road, and especially in this environment in West Sacramento. A's money line to close the night like the Rockies yesterday. I think it's phenomenal value to close the day. Plus 120 for Sack at home with the A's. Folks, that'll do it for our MLB Best Bets here on August 15th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily MLB Best Bets. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.